Cup winners. Cup. Liverpool 2, Celtic 1. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. Look at the celebrations there. What a turnaround here this afternoon.
Welcome to Rangers Radio.
What a goal by Steenie, followed that up, and whoop, in it goes.
Why not give the show a call on 01413561972.
Rangers up in the scoring, up in Tawdry, 12 minutes of the match remaining.
What a strike.
A stunner from Kenny Miller, rifles it into the roof of the net.
Or send Fox a friend request on Skype at RangersRadio.online.
He's gone into the middle, McSwegan's in there too. When he comes from McSwegan, there's his header, and he scores! What a substitution! Running inside, is he going to let flies in? He scores! Good ball! Scores for Rangers!
Nacho Lobo with one kick of the ball to take Rangers to Manchester. Rangers are coming! The Scots are heading for Manchester, and you know what? Manchester may not be big enough.
Remember, it's all about the Rangers.
Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, here on the panels, the one and only Bridgeman. And Big Ulster. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Oh, doing very well, thanks, man. Hope you're keeping good.
No bad, mate, no bad. Yourself, Bridge?
Can I just say good evening to the guys in the panel here, and to all the guys in the lobby, a big good evening, and to all the Rangers fans all over the world. Good evening, and welcome to Rangers Radio.
How are you, Bridge?
Well. I'm doing well, pal, thanks, I'm doing well.
Big fire, eh? Big fire, Sucky Hall Street.
Well, apparently the block that Victoria's is in, they've managed to get in there. Apparently, it's, well, I don't know what they're in. The inside the buildings apparently are all gutted and still going now. They've got apparently over 100 firemen there. You know.
Oh dear, oh dear.
But it backs. You know that lane. It backs onto the pavilion, the old pavilion. So they reckon they've managed to salvage or stop the fire spreading into the pavilion. Otherwise, that went as well.
Oh dear. I don't know if you've seen the tweet of the day, Ulster. Did you see the tweet of the day for the Rangers Supporters Erskine Association?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, they put I'm not a Twitterati. It's me and Bridge on the Twitterati. Well, Bridge is a Twitterati. I reckon Erskine Appeal must have somebody would have been there and posted some pictures of the fire. And BBC Scotland's news desk contacted them and say, "Hello, how are you? Can we use your pictures for the fire at BBC? All the best." And the reply was, "You'll like this, Bridge? No, thank you. We don't wish to be associated with the BBC due to the treatment of our club and our support. Thanks anyway." Tweet of the day. A big round of applause to the
Absolutely. I'm going to join them. I'm going to get in their board and help them out with these things. I'll love that.
Well, you've been an old soldier. You might end up there.
I'll tell you what, you've made my day. You've made my day. Seriously, that's we're really happy. Happy.
Tweet of the day, yeah?
That's a cracker, yeah.
Do you see what he done there? That's a cracker.
That's a cracker. Who was it who used to say that? Carson, what was his name?
Frank Carson.
Oh, Frank Carson. That's the way I tell him.
That's the way to
That's the way I tell him.
Oh, that's a cracker. I like that, Ulster. Did you mean that?
I'm going to say yes, so why not?
I don't think you did.
That's just Ulster lingo.
Fair play to you, fair play. Yeah, I thought you might like that, Bridge.
Actually, I've just linked into follow, and you know it's there right in front of us. Oh, brilliant! Yeah. BBC Scotland News Desk at BBC Scott News Desk 9 hours ago. Hello, how are you? Can we use your pictures of the fire for the BBC? All the best. And they've answered back, "Oh, thank you. That's brilliant. Well done, Oxford. We do not wish to be associated with the BBC due to the treatment of our club and our support. Thanks anyway." Brilliant. Oh. Oh, that's exciting me no end.
Right, we'll just have shout-outs doing that'll do the show.
That'll do me. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, magic.
Oh, dear. He's easy pleased, Ulster, isn't he?
Well, you know, that's a massive step that any organisation, okay, it's associated with the Rangers, but any organisation would turn around to the BBC and tell it how they feel as an organisation. You know, so they're talking at a certain level there. And you know something, and I'm not being funny, what a cheek the BBC have got in doing this. And this is the kind of things, not that particular, but this is the kind of things that I've been moaning about. You guys are fed up. The people in the lobby are fed up listening to me. They use every means possible to get whatever they can. And they'll just come up to Ibrox and try to get in. They would just walk in and try to get in without being asked and so on and so forth. They're just a shocking organisation. Just shocking. Sorry, guys.
Talking about another shocking organisation, I don't want to bore everybody, but I don't know if you've seen another story that broke today, Bridge, in the Sun. You know I'm no lover of the Sun, but for a lot of reasons. But I don't know if you've seen that one, Ulster, about what they were implying about Rangers couldn't sell their tickets, and the tickets were sold out.
I brought that up last night to the guys just before the show last night, and I said there's something in the Sun that the boys in Follow have picked up. I don't know fully what the implication of it was because I never read it, but it certainly upset the boys in Follow. But what they've said is that Celtic, they've got an open sale of their tickets. Now I'm not trying to be trying to say anything bad here. They've got an open sale of their tickets and it's sold, let's say, in 9 hours or whatever. All the tickets were gone. But the Rangers have got till the end of the week or something like that to finalise the sale of theirs. That'll never go on open sale. They never mentioned that, of course. But we know it'll never go on open sale because it's going to be balloted. And that's all there is to it. But it's a disgrace that these people got away with that.
Lazy journalism. That's all I've got to say, Ulster, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we've seen that more than once, haven't we? They just like I don't know what it is with Scottish media, but they see something a bit like the whole Chinese after that time and all, you know, they get information and they just jump all over it instead of actually getting a few facts and investigating it first like proper journalists. They seem to just shoot from the hip and always seem to shoot themselves in the foot.
JWR's looking for one. I don't know if he's looking for a ticket for the semi or a semi for the ticket.
Well, probably both.
Anyway, we move on. It'd be great if people could join us. First-time callers, more than welcome, Bridge, because we want to know what people are thinking, where we are, because we sort of agreed, most days that were on the other night, we're at a crossroads. This journey, as it's been called, Ulster, we're at a crossroads in the journey, and hopefully we want to drive forward as a club support and as a teammate.
Yes, exactly, mate. It's going to happen. It will happen eventually. Hopefully a wee bit sooner rather than later, but it's coming that way. It'd be great to get, as you say, get new people in. Get them
listen, guys,
because I know there's people listening in there and they're desperate to call and they're just maybe a wee bit of nerves. But don't bite. Come on, get involved and you'll enjoy it.
Can I just say something following on from what Ox was saying? Duke put something in the lobby here. I'll just read it out, and it says somebody on Rangers Media has said that there is a fire equipment company with the same initials as RSEA, and they have contacted the wrong company. Oh, brilliant. Love it.
Go back to my point. Lazy journalist, Bridge.
Absolutely, pal, absolutely.
Yep. Your point is made already, mate.
But it's the power they have and the influence they have in people, mate, and it's pretty frightening, really.
Do you know what they do? Do you know what annoys me greatly? I know they had to put Sports Sound off, the weekly programme off for a variety of reasons, because apparently what I was told was they were getting very poor, no phone-ins, so they stopped having phone calls. And what they've got is they now use Twitterati type stuff. So it's just as well texts and what do you call it, and tweets are available to them. Otherwise, they would have no contact. They call themselves the national radio station, and they're not a national radio station because they're only really They're only really interested in half the nation. In all honesty,
I wouldn't say it's half the nation, Bridge.
Maybe not even half, but it's a 50. They're not interested in our half of it. Let's put it that way. They're not interested in our half of the nation and in servicing them, not at all. So a company that calls themselves a national radio station, and they're not a national radio station in the greatest sense of the word, is disgraceful. Oh, listen, you've got me started, for God's sake. Sorry, lobby. Sorry, boys in the lobby and everybody listening. I'm really...
Thanks for your call, Bridge.
We'll
get you tomorrow night. We'll get you tomorrow night, all right?
Shut. My wife's going to batter me. We're going to put her head in the door and batter me.
Ulster.
Oh, no.
I would do that, but Bridge is too big for me, so I'll not...
I've got a note here. He can't run anymore but Ulster. Take it with me. I've got a note here. That's the 1432nd time he's had that right in it, Bridge. Anyway, people want to join us. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141 356 and 1972.
Oh, well done, well done. Just keep it simple. When you tried to show off yesterday, you got it right.
I know. Shocking. Shocking.
6 times, by the way.
Absolutely shocking. I'm not kidding.
It was funny, right enough. And where else can you join us, Ulster?
At RangersRadio.online, and you'll find us there on Skype, and you can ring in from free then.
Yep. Yeah, come and join us. Great to hear from anybody talking about anything Rangers related. I think we've been joined by the Fox. I think he sneaked in the boys' gate. How we doing, Fox?
Again?
Right. Evening, guys.
How we doing, mate? Somebody's in a good mood. One tweet and that's him off, eh?
No, I was just listening to the Scottish news at the start of the programme. There are fires and God knows what. That's a shame.
It's one of your old taunts that's in fire. It's one of your old taunts that's in fire. Victoria's.
It's a right good bear that owns that. I know. I hope everything's all right for him.
Yes.
I think he sold it, pal. You talking about Mortimer?
Oh, has he? Has he sold it?
I think it's been sold. I don't know, of course, but I think so. He opened it down. He opened down in the Exchange Square. He sunk a lot of money into Exchange Square, bought a lot of properties down there.
Well, you're well clued up, you and you.
Oh, it's quite a posh place down there, Bridge.
You know the what do you call it again? The Regano in Royal Exchange Square. You know the restaurant Regano.
Yes, the fish restaurant. Yeah.
He owns that. James Mortimer bought that, and he bought the Club 29 or Number 29, which is just round the corner a wee bit. He's bought about 4 or 5 properties down there. He's got 3 or 4 restaurants.
Very
and
good.
A club.
I don't think we should be discussing MD's personal business.
No,
but never mind.
Okay, that's where the footballers apparently go now. You know.
Enough.
Okay.
Anyway, how you doing? How we doing, Fox?
Not bad, pal. It's a wee bit worried seeing you were running a bit late tonight. I was in panic mode there for about 10 minutes.
Don't know what you're talking about. I was at a funeral today, mate, and it was quite a distance away.
Well done for getting here, pal. Anyway, what's annoying me today?
Aye.
Well, we all know that the outcome was going to be a Kipri's red card, but what I want to ask the rest of the panel is, how is these wrongful decisions affecting games, mate, where clubs end up playing with 10 men? It's happened to us twice this season with Ryan Jack, and it can alter where the points will end up. How do we get out of this?
Are you making a point that wrong decision, you could put an argument that affected your whole season, that first game against the Hibs? The wheels came off.
Of course, mate.
I get what you're coming for. And could Pedro Cachina, now I've got my own thoughts on Pedro, but could Pedro Cachina's tender been different if that referee, Mr. Beaton, had got his decisions right?
Cheating Beaton.
Well, the thing is, mate, it is affecting the outcome of games. I'm beginning to think when wrong decisions are made in games, mate, you should be made to play them again. Because, I mean, even if you take in the game at the weekend that Kipri gets sent off in, mate, That was after, I think it was 40 minutes or something. So another team playing against Celtic, mate, down to 10 men, and it affected the outcome of the game. Motherwell might have went on and won that game.
Was
Or
there any other
Celtic could have-
repercussions with the decision? Obviously, the referee was conned.
Ah,
Would that
well,
be fair to say that?
The man that caused the incident with a push, mate, gets off scot-free once again. Earlier on the season, I think it was, he kicked a guy in the side of the face. That was also not taken into account. He gets away with murder, mate. And he instigated the whole incident to me.
All right. But is your point about the influence of these wrong decisions are having in prizes, competition, managers' jobs, players' career? You know, Ryan Jack was sent off for nothing that day.
Aye, but that's exactly what I'm saying, mate. So the outcome of games are getting changed. I'm not, as I say, I'm not saying they're cheating, but the decisions are wrong and teams are suffering for it.
So if a player get a player sent off and it was rescinded and they'd lost the game, you feel as if the game should be replayed? Is that what you're saying?
Aye, I do.
But if they'd won the game, the result stands. Is that fair?
Aye. Especially if it's a Tim's.
That's quite a good one, actually. That's quite a good one, Fox.
No,
I
well, I
it
mean,
my way.
my way. In a close title race, mate, if it ended up this season, that result could have cost Rangers the league, mate. That sending off.
So when a player can be looked at by this mob that do the compliance people, this activity, and they've said, well, we don't think that really was a red card, you know, but we'll reduce that to a yellow card, which is probably, and I haven't seen the incident that much, but or that well, so forgive me, maybe you guys have. As far as what the wee bit that I saw the boy lashing out. Well, I thought he was lashing out anyway, and he contact with Scott Brown. However, it may not have been thought to be too serious, and therefore maybe a yellow would have sufficed. But if he was going to give Keepery a yellow card, he should have given Scott Brown a yellow card for starting it. So handbags, the two of yous, there's a yellow card, away you go. That maybe what should have happened. But Scott Brown walked away scot-free. Excuse the pun.
Ulster?
Oh, referees. Well, if we're being honest, the standard is poor. I think I'm right in thinking that the referees aren't professional. I don't think they train 5 days a week. They've probably got other jobs, etc. So the level's not that great. They'll need to maybe look at the investing in that and giving these referees more training and sort of trying to get the standard built up, because they're making daft decisions every single week. Like we've seen Ryan Jack has, sent off a couple of times, had to be rescinded. And instead of maybe looking at an individual decision, they seem to get a frame of mind about a player. Like any tackle Ryan Jack was doing, he was getting punished for it, even if it wasn't a bad one, because they just, for some reason, had an assumption that he was maybe a dirty player or something, without actually probably being up with play and looking at decisions properly. So it's something that needs looked at. I don't think you'll probably ever get games replayed, things like that. I don't think it'll probably ever go that way, because it'll be too much probably controversy for different games.
The VAR then, Ulster? What I've seen, it's been very slow. Yeah. It's no added to the game yet, but obviously it's in its infancy. Any thoughts on that?
I think the problem with Scotland is, again, probably the money. It's how do Scottish teams afford this? How's these teams going to get screens up, etc.? I think it's maybe a non-starter, maybe for a lot of years down the line. But as I said, the ones down in England aren't too impressed with it at the minute, because I think it's slowing the game too much. But maybe they'll pick up the pace as they start learning it, and decisions will be made a bit quicker. But the only problem with the VAR, I think, is then you start to, how do you celebrate a goal? Every time someone scores a goal, is the other team going to, call for the referee to look at the VAR, and the game gets stopped every 2 minutes? It doesn't really appeal to me, to be honest. But it's something that might come in. It might be forced on us in years to come. But at the minute, I don't think Scotland have the money for it.
You could say that could be a positive. You could celebrate the same goal twice.
That's true.
But I agree with that to a certain extent. I'm actually dumbfounded by it. But we've got Rangers, a big club, and they've got their own TV, and their own TV is on live in the stadium. What I would like to know is why, for instance, when there's any controversial decision, or any decision for that matter, why don't we show replays of it? Just like you would watching a live game. Why don't they show it on the giant screens? And everybody with a better idea what's actually happened. Obviously, that's down to the producers, the TV producers that's doing it. But I would suggest that they try to do something like that, because at least the fans would see, offside decisions are a biggie, aren't they? Particularly if there's a goal involved in it. Was he offside or was he no? The referee's blown for it. Was it offside? The fans know straight away, a yard offside, okay, that's it done. The VAR's going to come, and when it comes in, we'll do the exact same thing. I don't understand why we can't do something like that now, with the people who's got the TVs.
Every league, in a league, everybody's got to have the same facilities, I would think, Fox.
Well, there is cameras at every game, mate, because we get highlights for every talk. Especially the Premier Division, mate. There's cameras at every game. I quite like the idea, but it's these decisions and how it's getting made, and then they're handed over to a compliance officer who picks and chooses what he thinks should be game altering decisions, mate. For some reason, he picks out decisions that what he says is people complain about, but apparently nobody complains about the Celtic incidents, mate, but there's tons of them complain about Rangers ones, because to me, they're the only ones he seems to look into.
Well, I think it comes from the BBC. They're the only programme, the only broadcast that does, the full repeats of all the games. It gives you highlights, and it's whatever they pick up and go with. And if they make comments, the two pundits on that, if they make comments like, that shouldn't have been a red, or it should have been a red, words to that effect, then for sure the compliance officer and his team will in fact look at that. They may not say that's what we're going to go with, but they will look at it for sure. It's the same with BT and things like that, and Sky. And they're all Celtic fans, are pundits in there. So they're not going to talk about the Celtic game and say, well, that was terrible, that shouldn't have happened. If it was against Celtic, yes, it's get it looked at. But no, if it's against Celtic, sorry.
I'll ask you.
On you go, Fox.
This is right. We've got a Scottish Cup semi-final coming up, mate. Say a Rangers player was to get sent off wrongly and we lose that semi-final. How would we feel as a Rangers support, mate? Should the tie be played again if it's a wrong decision?
Oh.
I'm asking. We're only guys
having
a chat,
I believe that the compliance people, the people who are running this part of the job with the SFA, they should be totally independent, and they should be able to rule that it was such a bad decision, or an incorrect decision, call it what you like, that it did have a negative impact on the team who were the victims, and that they should recommend whatever they want to recommend. They should recommend whatever the next action is. All they're doing is recommending that a person gets punished, and by how many game bans or whatever it is. They're not interested in the actual results at the moment that I know of. But I think you're right, Fox. It's a really good point. Maybe they should take it all the way. Maybe they should go all the way and say, did that have a negative impact in the whole game? What do you think? If you get two men sent off and that's wrong.
Is the point you're making, Fox, that the game's changed, the game's faster, the ball moves a lot faster? I mean, people can kick the ball because of the nature of the ball, distances that maybe 50 years ago couldn't have been comprehended, Bridger.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. But I think you have to realise a lot of the times as well that obviously the higher up you go, so if you get a football stadium that's up in the top of a hill, the ball will go further than I anyway because it's lighter air, thinner air, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's like nothing like that.
That's what I always liked going up the top of Gardner Street.
There you go. I lived in South Africa, and when we were up at the Johannesburg, up the Johannesburg area at 6,000 feet up a sky, and the golf balls go further rather, and the football goes further. When I moved down to the coast, it was back to the usual grind again,
Maybe that's what's affected my golf as well. But no, but seriously, people. The game's changed. The way that people can ping. If you think Beckham pinging balls for 80-yard passes and looping them, that never really happened. I'm not saying people couldn't do it, Bridge, but not to the same extent. So the referee can't keep up with him. So maybe, as far as if the referees want to, maybe there should be the two linesmen, and maybe it should be two refs with a half each, and then you're quartering the pitch, and hopefully that would get you better decisions, Fox.
Maybe so. Anyway, we've been joined by a caller. I think it's Gary.
Evening, Gary.
How are we, guys?
How are you, mate?
I'm getting there, mate. I'm getting there. I've had a few wee issues over the last few weeks, but I'm slowly getting there.
Oh, you get there, mate.
See, all the health issues, I think it's kind of affected my mental state for a while. Do you know what I mean? So I wasn't myself. So
So what you're telling us, we can't take the mickey at you?
No, absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
Don't bite, Gary. Don't bite.
No, I'm getting there.
Are you back, mate? Are you back? Are you coming? Are you bouncing back?
Myself.
Good man.
Indeed,
good man.
Indeed.
What's on your mind, Rangers-wise, then, mate?
Right, well, I'm just obviously listening to the wee debate that we're having there. Now, here's my take on it. So, take the Kiefer incident, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, he's been found not guilty, so the red card's been rescinded. So, the red card, to me, should be given to Brown or play acting, because it was his reaction that got Kiefer sent off. That's the way I see it.
So you're saying that somebody cheated there, and he should be dealt with more severely?
Indeed, yeah.
I get that, mate. I really get that. That's a great point, Ulster.
Yeah, that's been my opinion on it a long time. Whether you're wearing a blue shirt, green and white shirt, or should I say green and grey, or any coloured shirt, I think if it's starting to come into the game a wee bit, over especially in Britain, maybe wouldn't have been here about a years ago, but it's creeping into our game, and I think if you're diving or feigning an injury, you're cheating. You're cheating the opposition team. You're cheating the referee. So for me, I think that's something we need to stamp out of the game. Something we definitely need to look at. And I think if anybody's caught diving or cheating, it should be a fine or an automatic red card, whatever. Even after the game, and maybe ban them for a few games. It's something we need to definitely look at.
I think bans are the way to go for people that caught with that, because then managers get annoyed about it. But I'll take it to our not guilt. I'll take it to our not guilty expert, Bridgeman.
Actually, Wales have got a good shout there. I have to say that. I was just saying not long ago, Wales. What we're interested in, if necessary, we would like the compliance people to be able to make the big decision. Someone does such just like that, just like you said there. Well, if that guy, that red card that you gave that guy was wrong, then it must have been wrong with that guy. So he must get the red card out of the 2-game ban. But at the moment, they're only interested in what the incident was and who gets what for it. I think that should be opened wider, and there's a good chance that they should be able to say what we were speaking about earlier was should some incidents be the cause of the result going against a team. Let's say a player gets sent off and it's such a bad decision that it does affect the team. And when it's proven wrong, maybe they should say they need to play that game again because that result can't stand. That kind of thing.
There's a problem with that, and I get Fox's thing, his idea, what he's wanting the decisions to be right. Is the problem with that the season can be never ending?
Well, I honestly don't know, but my honest opinion is yes, there's going to be a way that the referees, they're needing help. and they needed as much help as possible for sure, because fans were getting more and more hypercritical of the referee. But Cheating Beaton, for instance, he's got a terrible name now. The incident with Stokes, with the Hibs game at Ibrox, and Stokes jumped on Tavernier's back. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. If that had been me playing at amateur level, non-league level in England, and if you'd done that, it's a red card. Every day of the week, a red card. As soon as you do anything like that, red card, away you go. But it doesn't happen. Sorry.
Fox, I get the sentiment, but is that the downside? We lost Fox.
He's gone.
All right. He'll be back. Is that the downside, Ulster?
Well, this is it. That could be looked at as downsides, of course, mate. But I just think we're going to have. It's something that personally, just on a personal note, that you got to take these risks, and just have to look at a way of trying to snap out of the game, mate. Just my own opinions on it. It's just a pet hate of mine, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Are you back, Fox?
Can I just?
On you go, guys.
Just to come in on how I was talking about the goals thing as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
This might be a wee bit controversial, but my take on that is if we can't have the VAR, so say there's a goal that's clearly over the line, but it's not given at the time, give it after the game. When the TV replays show that it should be given, give it after the game.
Be hard to get a coupon up, Ulster, wouldn't it?
Upset. They'd be jumping about. Got 10 teams up. Oh no, one went over the line against Millwall. You'd go on that, wouldn't you? But
the VAR, I mean, they've used it successfully in the three other. Well, there's rugby union, rugby league. It's worked in theirs. Cricket, and you could say the tennis, but the cricket and the tennis, they're limited to the number of shouts they get per innings and set. Would that maybe be the way to go, that a team could use, say, one and a half? Would that work for you, Bridge?
A challenge thing.
Aye.
Yeah, well, I think that's been put forward as possible solutions. Like in tennis, was it allowed 3% or something like that, just for things sake. And I don't know whether it rolls on to the next set, but you could in fact bring that out.
It doesn't.
No, I'm not dead sure, but you could do these things. I would just love to. We've got a set of referees or refereeing officials. If you look at what you've got in a European game, where you've got a referee assistant on the goal line next to the goal, and they still can't give a corner. They still haven't got the ability to shall we say, influence what the referee's thinking. So they're standing there and they can see the ball crossing the line, I'm sure, and they ignore it because the referee and linesman are in charge. So somewhere along the road, they get mixed up. They've got all the help physically by people. I would love to see the electronic side of it coming in, like the VAR. Obviously, it has to be smarter than they've got at the moment. It just has to be. And it's like, it's like throwing teeth at times. You're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting. I mean, how long does it take? That's why I say you've got Rangers TV at every game. Every Rangers game's got Rangers TV. Even our fans, even us fans, sitting at, if it's at Ibrox, the big screens are there. If you're watching it at home on a TV, they should be showing just, immediately, just like you do in live TV. Yeah, there you are. There's a playback of it. Make your own mind up.
I think the big problem is, mate, for me is I don't think the referees fully see the incidents, and a lot of the times they're guessing at it. Yet we had an official at the Rangers Celtic game at Ibrox, mate, who clearly seen the elbow son of a bitch put into Morelos, mate. Now that man gets slaughtered for that in the press after it for giving a correct decision. And it's incidents like that that's stopping the linesmen having a good fair say in what is happening on the park. And I think it was terrible that the press in Scotland absolutely demonised that guy for getting a correct decision.
I'll tell you what, I'm not being funny. I'm just on that point, so just to add fuel to the fire on that, I'm sure I read somewhere on Follow, one of the posts, one of the guys was saying he had heard on the BBC that the pundits in the BBC had changed their mind and said that it wasn't a deliberate elbow. You know, the pundit says, no, it wasn't. It was a deliberate elbow, 100% every minute of every day.
Still dangerous play, mate, and that's an automatic red card.
You can see him. Here he's coming. Whack. There you go. Thank you, pal.
No, the point being that an official makes a correct decision and he's slaughtered me in the press.
But that's what I'm trying to say. The press, look, the people that are running the press are all anti-Rangers. So any decision that's going to go for Rangers, and particularly against them, then it ain't going to be good. It's going to go down like a brick in the water. Simple as that. They're not going to like it, and they'll come out and play it. They're coming over the hills. It is, guys. At times they're coming over the hills.
Gary,
you know, I'm just thinking another thing that should be done as well. You know how in rugby you hear the refs talking to the players? I think that should be brought in as well, and that way the fans know why decisions have been made at the time.
The trouble with that gets back to the VAR problem. I get that, Gary. I don't disagree with the sentiment, but if you take American football, if you take rugby, they're both slower games where the referees can talk because there's natural breaks in the game. Football's meant to be a flowing, fast game, or the ball's meant to be in play more, and the game's meant to be more active. If we start doing that, what would you do it for? Do you do it for every throw-in? Do you do it for every foul?
Like a foul, for example, the ref's going to talk to the player anyway, so what would be the harm in the fans hearing what's being said? It's not going to slow the game down any, do you know what I mean?
But would that be every foul? Or just when he speaks to somebody?
Just when he speaks to people, and then we know, you know, why he's kind of came to that decision.
I've never really thought about it.
If he's booking somebody, or
I get it. I mean, you see them on the Six Nations. You see it in American football when they're explaining the decision. You know. My concern would be, and it's only my opinion, know that counts for a lot, is that the game could get slowed down and then football isn't the same spectacle. Holster?
Well, this is it. This is the problem. I think a challenge, if you got a challenge each or something, that would be fair enough, you know. But then slowing games down would be no good because they're going to stop the time every 2 seconds. You know what I mean? It'd be a disaster for the likes of me if I was going over the bus, because we have to get away straight after the games. If we're stopping games, you could go, I don't know what time the games could go on to if they were doing that, you know. But I think if you had if you were to bring it in, and you're maybe to allow one challenge each, say, per team over the 90 minutes, it mightn't be just too bad, you know. But it's if they were going to stop it for every challenge, it would be a bit of a disaster, I would have thought.
Well, can I come in and say that, in my opinion, to be able to improve the whole lot, everything, you know, the very first thing they need to do is they need to smarten up the existing laws they've got and use them. So this nonsense about it can take a long time to take a throw-in, sometimes 30 to 35 seconds because of teams' time wasting. No, stop it. 10 seconds, take a throw-in. If you don't take it, I'll go to the opposition side. Done. Finished. And as soon as you start doing that, you'll see a different ball game. Different game of football entirely. Same with goal kicks. The goalkeeper stops and takes a wee drink of water. Rubbish. Get on with the game. Get maybe 15 seconds for a goal kick, and so on and so forth. Get on. They need to stop all that. We need to force these teams to stop wasting time like that. Shocking. Sorry, that's an assist.
I thought about the goal kick ones before, mate, because that is pretty frustrating, isn't it? For killing the game.
Shocking. Absolute killer.
What about the professional game? If you put two sort of goal kick spots at both sides of the goal, yeah, and where when the ball then gets spotted right away for the goalkeeper to take the kick. Do you get what I mean? Because that's where they waste all the time. They move from one side to go to the other.
That's correct. I mean, I think that it used to be, of course, in our day.
What side the ball went out?
whatever side the ball went over. Actually, that's when you take
it's
it.
It's the whole area. You can take it in the whole area.
Well, I think they've given that 6-yard box to the keeper and said, well, you can take that. Your choice. You take it wherever you want. But I think he's now thinking that the whole area is his. That's the way I think, anyway. I just think that there are ways they could improve the game without going down the technical route, but they maybe need the technicals to actually see what's happening. So when a big shout goes up, hey, referee, look, he's taking the ball from 10 yards further on where it should be. You know what I mean? Maybe they need some help with that just to get it sorted. But they need to get it. Sorry.
First thing I would take after the referees is timekeeping. So if they watches and they're only concentrating on making the right decisions, somebody at the side of the park could do the timekeeping. Fox?
I think we're getting a bit deep into changing everything here, but I think that's a smart idea. I think the fourth official should do the timekeeping, mate.
Did you say I had a smart idea? That must be the first time ever.
Oh, I think that is a good idea. Because the fourth official, mate, has got plenty of time to standing there doing nothing half the time anyway, so I think
could say he's got time on his hands.
Aye, well, he has, aye. Move on.
You know when you say these...
Carried away here.
No, but you know when you say these things, it's all true. It's so frustrating when you're sitting there watching. You're looking at could be a half-decent game of football. But, for instance, just at the weekend there, we're playing Kelly, and their goalkeeper just plodded along. And you know when Rangers go ahead, just for saying sake, against any team, the time wasting stops, and they go on with it because they need to. If they go down 2 or 3, then they bring it back on again, right? But they don't want to lose a point or a goal if they can help it at Ibrox, and they'll do everything in their power because it's within the rules. And I think change the rules.
Anyway, let's Gary, what's on your mind? Rangers related, mate?
For me, mate, it's all about the cup now. Whatever happens in the league happens now. I'm not too fussed. Controversial perhaps, but I still believe that Mr. Marty is the man to take us forward. What
was your opening gambit when you came onto the show?
Say that again?
What was your opening words when you came onto the show?
Can't remember.
Was it something about mental health issues?
No, I do. I still believe he's the man to take us forward.
But I think Graham Murray's a smashing bloke. I'll tell you that now. I prefer him to Pedro Caixinha, but the problem he's got, and I said this to Fox off air before Saturday's game, we're one game away from everybody turning on him, and it's happened on Saturday, and it's only going to get worse, and that's the problem Graham Murray's got. Fox, correct?
Aye, his next defeat, mate, he'll just ramp it up. So I think, as I've said many times, mate, I was all for giving the guy a chance. I think he's done a reasonable job for a first real go at being a manager. But it looks like now we'll need to get somebody who's a more seasoned manager that makes better decisions, because his decision making is beginning to be showing up a bit, mate, with his lack of experience.
And that's the word, experience, mate. That's the word.
Aye. I was having a look on the forums today, mate, and I think it was Rangers Media. They had a list of people putting a list of managers doing 5 choices, and I had to look through them, mate, and you're getting into the same gamble with any manager, mate. You don't know how it's going to go. Some of the best managers in the world don't work out at clubs, and I think it's just the luck of the draw. You could next season see somebody like Graham Murray go on and stride on into the game, mate, but I don't think he's going to get the chance. I think he'll probably have to move to get another manager's job, you know.
Do you want to come back in there, guys?
I see what frustrates me, right, and I know it's none of yours, but I see it quite a lot. It seems to be that whenever somebody beats us, all of a sudden their manager's the one we want. Steve Clark, for example. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure Bridge wanted Brendan Rodgers last week.
I've even heard Neil Lennon be mentioned. That's how bad it is. I've heard Neil Lennon be mentioned.
Never in the mouth.
You're going to ridiculous now. You're going to the ridiculous.
I'll go back. What was your opening gambit before you came on the show?
I've actually heard people saying Neil Lennon is a suitable candidate. Genuinely. That's how ridiculous it is.
Ooh, you must have been on strong meds, boy.
No, by the way, I've seen that mentioned and all, mate, and that's been honest. Some people saying
it's the internet. Some of the women are the woman.
Aye, fair enough. But imagine him getting the job at Ibrox, mate. It would be empty the next week.
They would never allow it. They would never allow it. Never, ever, ever. If that man's lucky.
Enough. Stop it.
Hold on, right. Enough. Steve Clark, for example, right, he might be doing well at Kilmarnock. That doesn't automatically mean that he's big enough to get the Rangers job.
I don't think Steve Clark is a suitable candidate for our job. I don't think Steve Clark would want the Rangers job, first and foremost. But what I will say, that Steve Clark has done a tremendous job with Kilmarnock in a short space of time. Whether he'll continue that on next season or it'll be a springboard to a move to another club, I cannot see Steve Clark being at Ibrox. Ulster?
No, I can't see it either, to be honest. But yeah, he has done a fantastic job at Kilmarnock. His record's showing that. I think we'll have to be honest. He is doing a good job there, but no, I can't see it. As for Gary's point on Mr. Murray, I was like you, Gary, for a lot of months there, and I still like the guy and hope things turn around, and I hope he does get the job, mate. But I'm sure it seems yourself when you see online, that I think the majority now are starting to turn, and when that happens, it's never good for the manager, and I think the board may be, somewhat pressured into making the change. But then, as Fox says, you're going to take a chance on anybody. At the end of the day, with Rangers, no matter who comes in, mediocrity will not be accepted. They're going to have to hit the ground running and winning games week in, week out. So good luck to whoever gets the job. No pressure.
Oh, sir, can I ask you now? Right. See if he wins the Scottish Cup, do you think the fans would still say, nah, he's not?
I think that, what fans are like? Fans are fickle. So you will get ones jumping into the other camp again. But I think the problem for Mr. Murray is that, say, next season, say you've won 4 games in a row and say, I don't know, you lose somewhere along the line, then the people will be very quick to jump from one side back into the other side, rather than maybe give another manager more time because he's new. Well, I think that, Mr. Murray will always have the problem of people straight away, they go and see, I told you, no good, no experience. So I think that's what the problem is there. So, and you'd always have instability, I think, given the way the supporters are thinking at the minute and because of the inexperience. So I think it's probably best, as much as I like Mr. Murray, it's probably best maybe to go for somebody else and give somebody else a chance and give Murray a bit of a break.
It's a results-driven business, Gary. And if he'd have won the 5 home games, he would have been pole position to get the job.
I don't think we could say he's never had, obviously we don't think he's never had a chance. He's had ample opportunity to come out and show what he's made of. And he's done so quite well in a number of games. But I think we'll get to that point where we spoke before. Big games come along, and every game at Ibrox is a big game, no matter what it is nowadays. And sure as shooting, we don't appear to be able to do it at Ibrox. Not just under Murty, but under other managers as well. But really, Mr. Murty has had the opportunity and all the great chances to do things right for Rangers and himself. And that's a disappointment. It's not the anger. I don't think there's any anger about him. There's nobody hates him. I just think they're disappointed that he can't seem to do what we expect him to do. A lot of guys are sitting there, people like Fox knows a wee bit about tactics, and they say, oh, we'd like this, or we'd like that, and why didn't all of a sudden the decision's made or not? You know, the sort of no making a decision. I can't believe that we finished a game and only used 2 substitutes. It just baffles me. It just baffles me. I'm sorry, it just baffles me. Anyway, sorry.
I'll give you my take on it, Gary. The problem I've got. You there, guys? The problem I've got is I accept that Graham Murray's inexperienced as a manager. You can't say he's inexperienced in the football world. I mean, he got a few caps for Scotland. He played at Reading for a number of years, and he had a lot of clubs. He was what is maybe known as a journeyman, and I think he played the Premier League with Reading. I might be wrong. I'll maybe check that out. But when we've watched the games, and particularly Saturday's game, we all knew how we were going to set up. We knew who the personnel would be. We picked the team. I think we pretty much got it bang on when we heard the injuries. We knew that Alves and Martin would be playing because we're limited to that. The 2 fullbacks are the 2 fullbacks. But Goss and Docherty were going to be playing. I mean, you the 2 wide men. And the argument, some people wanted Morelos up front, some people wanted Cummings. That's a bit of personal opinion. And we knew that Windus would start. We knew he'd be playing in the hole. And so did Steve Clarke. And he set his team up just to make sure we didn't lose. They didn't lose. And so did Brendan Rodgers a week before at Ibrox. We lost. And so did Neil Lennon when we played the Hibs at Ibrox. And we lost. There's a
So
theme.
how do you stop becoming so predictable then?
You've got to. I remember when Mark Warburton were going, again, it's only my opinion and it's not worth a lot, but you have to be able, not necessarily, you don't always have to change your personnel at football. You can change your shape. If you don't change personnel and you don't change shape, there's no point having managers. They don't do nothing.
But if you want to change shape and all that, you have to have the players to be able to play in the roles that you want to change.
I think that any professional footballer within reason should be able to move to the next position. Professional football player. You should be able to play in more than one role. If no, you shouldn't be on that pitch. Bridgeman?
Yeah, I 100% agree.
I'm not saying the goalie should move to centre forward. What I'm saying is, if you're playing it right back and your manager asks you to move forward on the right side of the pitch to move one on, you should be able to do it, Gary. If no, you're wasting your time.
You should be able to do that, of course.
Aye.
And when the manager does say it, then the captain should make sure that you continue to try to do it, you know. Because it's easy to slip up, you know, you forget what you're doing, and the next thing you know, you're 10 yards behind where the manager is asking you to be, or 10 yards forward of where the manager is asking you to be. So sometimes it takes the captain to go over and remind you, or the nearest player, hey, come back a bit, you know, that kind of thing. But I just think that, look, I'm not here, I don't want to be beating up Mr. Murty. I think he's done a fantastic job for us. We're sitting second in the league. Admittedly, we're closest rival is Aberdeen, and they've got a game in hand on us. So, but we're still to play them. So we might have a chance here, but we really do. I'll say again, we just need to make sure our game, get back to our A game, get the Celtic result out of our way, and the Kilmarnock result, of course. But I think the Celtic result has beaten us because they were there for the taking. We had a chance. We went ahead of them twice in the game, and we still lost it, which is heartbreaking for the team, players and the fans. And we need to get over that and let's do it. Let's go ahead again. Let's take everybody on and see what we can do.
Did you see Skipper's line? As all bird changed shape when she got to Job and Gennaro, she went from thin to fat.
I quite honestly think the game's overcomplicated now, mate. I really do. Tactics, everything else. Nobody takes into consideration luck in the game, mate. People are lucky, or teams are lucky. And if you look at the last two games, I say Dembele's goal to go to 2-1, mate. A ball just knocked up the park. He managed to go in the end and knock it out the top of the goalkeeper. Well taken goal, but that ball could just have easily have went out. The game at Kilmarnock, if Fotheringham shoves that round the post, mate, we don't get beat with Kilmarnock. There's so much luck in football, and it's only the very, very top managers that do it consistently, and you usually find they've got the best players that money can buy. Pep Guardiola's done it in Spain, and he's now doing it in the Premier League, mate. He's above all. See all the rest of the managers, mate, it's a merry-go-round. They go to one club, nearly get them relegated, or do get them relegated, and some club picks them up and thinks that, oh, he'll do a job for us. There's a lot of luck in it, mate. When Claudio Ranieri took care of Leicester, he happened to go there at a time there was a good bunch of players. He managed to get it. It's all about training, mate, training them. Once they go out in the park, it's down to the players, and luck plays a big, big part in football, mate. You can hit the post instead of the ball going in, you win 1-0. And people forget that. We carried a lot of bad luck this year. And people say it's sell out, you know.
The bounce of the ball is a big thing, but I get you. But managers can influence the way the game flows, mate. And then it means
but they can't influence like spot decisions, like Fotheringham there, for example. That's no down to Marty for Fotheringham to on the spot think, oh, I'll tip this from the post.
I know, but if you take that back, Alves wasn't he playing it? Wouldn't have been a foul in the wing because somebody else could have ran. And Fotheringham wouldn't it? You can every goal you can dissect and make it. But I get it. Bounce of the ball is a bounce of the ball. But if a manager doesn't influence the shape and doesn't change the personnel, what's the point?
But mate, if somebody's sitting on your bench that can influence a game as much as you're saying, he should be in the first team. Who could Graham Murty have changed in the Celtic game? We had a poor bench, mate. We had nobody. We took off our best passer of the ball at half time. There's a mistake. Whether he was having a good game or no, he might have had a good second half. We'll never know that. But we brought on people that couldn't influence the game. And as I say, it's money and quality that win titles, mate. And we know that as well as everybody else, you know.
Anyway, we'll come back to this debate after Fox gives us a tune. Well, back, gentlemen.
Yep.
Yep.
That was a good tune, Foxy.
Chin up and down, Bridge.
I enjoyed that tune. I was still dancing and
nobody dancing Victorious.
On Victorious, aye.
Memories. You back, Fox?
I am now.
How'd you pick the tunes? Is it random or just luck?
Just random, mate.
Anyway, we move on. Gary, you went last word on that because it was obviously your point about Graham Murray. I think, if we're honest, we all like Graham Murray, the four of us sitting here, but I think Graham will be getting moved back to maybe a previous role, or he could end up assistant to somebody coming in. You never know. That could happen. Gary, last word on it to you.
I can't see, if I'm honest, that with him now having had the experience that he's had, I can't see him just going back to the 20s. I can't see that. But I think one thing the fans need to remember, right, is I know a lot of fans are not happy with him and that, right, I get that. But what they need to think about is, where would we be if he hadn't stepped up?
Well, if we got a bit of luck, we could have won every game, according to Fox.
Well, that's not a bad point. Truth be told.
We could have been sitting 6 points clear at the top of the league.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, yeah?
Aye. It's a results-driven industry. Hamilton, St Johnstone, Hibs, Celtic,
Dundee,
and Kilmarnock, or Ibrox.
Mm-hmm. Aye, it's definitely. But the home form, that can't be just down to Murray. As I say, that a lot of that to me is the players not handling the pressure of playing in front of 50,000 fans. Do you know what I mean? That to me is what that's down to. Could be the players only quite good enough. Fox, you're coming in there.
I want to do a wee shout out, mate, before it gets too late. I want to shout out of happy birthday to our glamorous assistant that helps OSB. It's her birthday today, so this is just for little Beth.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
And it's a big happy birthday for everybody for Rangers Radio.
Here. Hope you had a great day, Beth. I hope your old man gave you plenty
of money.
Money, aye.
They'll not know what to do with the money, these girls. They don't know how to spend money, do they? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, keep it for the neat shirts.
Anyway, we're ready to move on, Gary, unless you've got any other point you want to raise?
No, carry on, mate.
All right.
I'm good.
All right, we'll see if Bridge has been practising. Bridge, if people want to join us, what's the number?
The number is 0141 356 1972. That's 1972, a year after it went to decimalisation in this country.
He's the only man I know that complicate you out a phone number. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Or you can join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online, where you'll be brought in. You can talk about all things Rangers, give your views on anything we've talked about, or anything you want to talk about. We're going to take a wee walk down memory lane. On you go, Gaz.
I was just going to say, or if you're a single lady, you can give me a call. That'd be much appreciated.
Pardon? Oh.
You need to change the tunes to that Beyonce number, all the single ladies for Gary.
What a shocker.
I suppose if you don't ask, you don't get, but... Anyway, we're going to take a wee walk back in time. On this day, there's been quite a few famous games. Oh, there's a great picture of Beth in the lobby. Do you see it? Don't know if you see it, Fox.
I do, mate. I do now.
Aye. On this day, we're going to look at some games that have, in the past, been big games for us. But I think there's one, it's maybe not so famous, but Fox has got it was a famous game at the time, 1986. Who's doing the time? Rangers 4, Celtic 4. Fox, you'd views that had a big influence in the whole of Scottish football. That
It did, mate. It was a turning point for Scottish football. It was a game at Ibrox. I think we were 2-0 down and 3-1 down. Then we scored 3 goals to go 4-3 up. And eventually, I think it was Murdo MacLeod that equalised and made it 4 each. But the consequences of that game led to the sacking of Jock Wallace. It also cost another 2 famous Rangers ex-players a league title when Hearts were pipped on the last day of the season and lost the title on goal difference. If we'd have won that game, Sandy Jardine and Alec MacDonald would have went on to win the championship with Hearts. And also, as I say, it led up to Jock Wallace being sacked, mate, and then we all know what happened next, you know. It was a very important year, 1986, in the Scottish game, mate. Alec Ferguson, I think, left for Man United as well in that year as well. So quite a big year.
Who's doing the banging?
It's George that's come in, mate.
All right. How we doing, George? Oh. Carry on. All right, mate. Who's doing the banging?
He's there. George is there.
Who's doing the DIY on the show?
It was George settling down there, mate.
All
you were
right,
just too quick to pick him up.
How we doing, George?
Aye, all right. Aye, yourself?
All right, mate. Did you hear? I thought you're a bit young for that game, 1986.
Aye. I was just away then, like, aye. Well,
I was there.
Listen to you.
I was there, Copeland Road. It was pouring the rain.
That's correct, mate, aye.
Absolutely teeming, as I said. I can't remember. I think Willie, they were 2-0 up. That rings a bell, Fox. Was that right? And
That's
then
correct, aye.
Willie McStay gets sent off.
He did, mate. He did Ted McMinn a couple of hefty challenges in the half. He got booked for the first one, then he did a ridiculous slide tackle and took Ted McMinn out again, mate, and he sent off.
And then I think we got a goal, and I'm going to say he got a double, but I can't remember the order. And I can't remember him getting another double. Cammy Fraser scored 2 that day.
I think he scored the second and fourth, mate, if I remember right. Whether it was him that actually scored the fourth or no is debatable, mate, because it was a header.
Under the bar, wasn't it? A flick on the Durant, I think.
No, I don't think it was, mate. I think it was one of the boys. I think it was at Truzal, Paul.
Dave McKinnon.
I think it was him that heated the ball back into the box, mate. The ball was dropping under the bar. Ted McMinn. Where am I going with this? Cammy Fraser. Just more or less. I think he nodded it in. Whether the ball was in first or no, I don't know, mate. But as I said, it was the events of that game that went on to change Scottish football, I think. And I think myself personally, I had they two doing to be our next manager back then, mate, Alec MacDonald and Sandy Jardine. But we all got surprised when, of course, Graham Souness came in. And I always wondered whether they two would have been a success at Ibrox, mate.
Mm-hmm. Ulster. Are you there, mate? I know you and
Yep.
we'll take this to George as well. I'll take this from the panel. That day, on this day, 1986, might have been, there was 13 players played for Rangers that day. And in an Old Firm game, every one of them was Scottish. That might have been the last time that happened.
Well, an Old Firm game, it might be. I'm trying to think. Anyone even recently, I don't think. In my time, I don't think we've played with the Scottish team.
No. Nicky Walker, Hugh Burns, Stuart Monroe, Dave McPherson, Dave McKinnon, Ian Durrant, Ted McMahon, Bobby Russell, Robert Fleck, Cammy Fraser, Ali McCoist, and the substitutes, Davy Cooper and Derek Ferguson. Goals on the 34th minute, Cammy Fraser, I was right, he got the first one. 3-1 at half time, and we scored 3 goals in 11 minutes. McCoist in 53, Fleck in 58, and Fraser on 64. And obviously we went from 3-1 down to 4-3 up. And then unfortunately we lost a goal. But that goal ultimately cost Hearts the league that year, Fox, eh?
Well, I would have... Actually, it's no particularly bang on with that, mate. I think they lost a game, second last game, to St Mirren of all people at Tynecastle. And then I think they drew the last game. Was it Dundee United?
No, they get beat. Albert Kidd scored twice.
Was it? Oh, I'm not... Was that season? Aye, it was, mate. It was, aye. But I think Hearts had went unbeaten, mate. We had beaten them we'd beaten them at Ibrox 3-2, I think it was. And then they went unbeaten to the second last game of the season, mate. As I said, St Mirren did beat them 1-0.
They bankrupt them, mate. They had some bonus system and it was all multiplied up as they kept winning.
That was the time Wallace Mercer was about with Hearts, wasn't it? I think, aye.
Cost them a fortune. George, 13 Scotsmen on the park. How things have changed, eh?
So, do you reckon that's never happened again since then?
When you think about it, so then on in, Butcher,
the English boys, obviously.
English boys, you've had I can't think of a time when there's no been a foreigner playing. Even when you had the 3 foreigner rules, we still had Mikhailichenko, we still had Dale Gordon, we still had Mark Gately.
That's something you would never really actually think about, Ken. Nowadays, 13 Scotsmen on a team. How good was that team, Hawks?
It wasn't our greatest ever team, but there were some great players in it. I mean, I was a particular fan of why Bobby Russell played the game, obviously. Ali McCoist, Robert Fleck had a good career. Dave McPherson left us and come back for Hearts. Stuart Monroe played long under. Graham Souness, successful. Davy Cooper and Derek Ferguson. Well, obviously Cooper's a legend and Derek Ferguson was only a young boy at the time and was well thought of. Ted McMahon played with Derby after he left. So it wasn't the greatest Rangers team, but I think we finished 4th or 5th in the league that year. I think so. I think Hearts, Celtic, Aberdeen, 5th in the league. And that, I think, the last day of the season, we pipped Motherwell. And that got us into Europe. And soon as couldn't understand why everybody was so down, we get into Europe. But Celtic won the league that day. So, but as Fox said, that whole season had a big influence in the change of Scottish football, George.
So was the Aberdeen team and the Dundee United team still good teams back then at that stage? So they were still top teams as well?
I mean, Aberdeen team had won the league the year before. They'd just 2 years previous won the Cup Winners' Cup. They had a smashing side. Dundee United had won the league in 82, I think, from memory. 83 get beat in the semi-final of the European Cup with Roma. So Scottish football was competitive. We had our best team, and that's how when Souness came in, the whole thing changed.
So we hadn't won the league for a few years at that point, is that right?
9 years. We went from 78 to 97, 78 to 87, mate.
Aye, so it just goes to show you, but like you say, I mean, for having all these Scotsmen in the team, I mean, was that basically the Scottish team at that time? Then obviously Celtic must have had a few.
Everybody, based all the teams, even Aberdeen, the United team were all full of. There was all Scotsmen there. I can't think of any. The game's changed, folks, huh?
Aye, well, that was, for me, that year changed the whole scene, especially for Rangers supporters, mate. It had been competitive for a few years before it. We weren't really at the races, mate, in it.
No. I think we only finished second once in that spell, and that was 1979. But talking about legends, we've been joined by the one and only True Blue. How are we doing, True?
Aye, good Ox. I'm just listening to you there about the influence in Scottish football and all the rest of it. In terms of Rangers, do you think it was a good influence ultimately?
Ultimately? Oh, that's a real tough question. It depends where you get off a roundabout, brah.
Well, can I tell you where I'm coming with?
Aye.
Right, now David Holmes come in. Everybody credits Souness, but the man behind everything was David Holmes. Come in, revolutionised the club with a view to selling it on. He brought Souness in. We know about Souness's signings and all the rest of it. He ultimately brought Murray into the club as well. Then we broke our traditions in terms of the signing policy. We know the results of the spending we were doing over all the years. I've got mixed feelings about it, being honest. We'd been in doldrums all that length of time. And then with a team in the park, it was truly fantastic, with the players we had and all that. But it was a lot of our traditions went out the window. Way that era, mate, I think should have been preserved. I think we left ourselves wide open to attack for everywhere, during that period as well. I think there's people in charge of the club who were quite naive to it all, the politics and everything else and the way things work in this country. But ultimately, the spending, we know the results with everything else, HMRC and where we ended up and all the rest of it. I don't know if ultimately it was a good thing for Scottish football. I think Scottish football's back where it was.
It's no further. I mean, we just said that they teams there. I mean, Dundee United, Aberdeen were getting to the finals of European trophies, so Scottish football is not the place it was. I'll give you that one, mate.
Interestingly enough, before, I know you'll know this, but maybe for the benefit of the younger boys, before we went for Souness, Jim McLean knocked us back, who had built that Dundee United side. Fergie knocked us back, who built that Aberdeen side, which was, when you think of two men with the Rangers connections, you wonder why, and then of course Souness got plucked out of thin air, and
well, they got the job. They knocked back the job when Big Joke came back.
Aye, well, Big Joke was it back then.
Aye, he was top choice.
But you know what I'm saying. Interestingly enough, they two were in a running. You wonder how things would have developed with bringing they two in. I don't think Souness was ever long term at Ibrox. I don't think he was ever going to, see out his career there. Particularly the way the SFA started carrying on and everything else. But strange period, history. I don't know how history will actually treat that period in terms of Rangers supporters. I'd be interested to hear you guys what you think about it.
It was for me. A lot of things depend on the age you are and all true, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
Okay, aye. I mean, guys around about my age had been starved of success for years,
Aye. For me, it was the most exciting time ever being a Rangers supporter. When Souness just changed the whole club. It just seemed to happen overnight. But I take your point. Ultimately, was it a good thing? That's a tough question. But at that particular period, it was a time like no other. Bridgeman?
Yeah, you're talking about great times, boys. I think Souness, you're right. Souness came in and there was changes afoot. And I think it was only about 2.5, 3 years. Had his triple bypass thing and all that, didn't he?
4.5 years, and he had the
4.5
bypass.
years.
He had the bypass at Liverpool.
Bypass at Liverpool, yeah.
Aye.
But it was, you know, what a transformation in Rangers and in turn Scottish football. And I think the hatred and bias that we've got against us now might actually go back as far as Graham Souness, if you follow what I mean, from the media. But he was a wonderful manager, great personality. He had everything. Pizzazz, charisma, great player, fabulous player. But my goodness gracious, he transformed us.
I'll tell you what the hardest thing was at that particular time, and George, you might laugh at this. There was no allocations. You had to go and queue up, and it was easier for the Glasgow boys than everybody else. But you seem to spend your life queued up for tickets.
Well, it was the onset of the season ticket generation.
Aye, but that was it was before that. But you seem to spend your life queuing up for semi-final tickets, queuing up for all firm tickets, queuing up for European tickets.
Well, it's interesting, Bridges talking about the hatred and all that. You know, Souness broke the signing policy, which was supposed to be the bone of contention with them all, and they all love us now, eh?
I think what did start then was a jealousy that we never seen coming, because they were quite happy even then. If you take pre-Souness, we still had a massive support. It went to away games and that, and they still took the Blue Pound, as it's called now. But they were quite happy because we weren't competing, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know. George, you want to come in, mate? On you go, Gary, then we'll go to George.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say while I remember, mate, just totally off subject, but it's just before I forget, some good news to bring you.
All right,
you'll remember my stuff with the cameraman.
Yes, yes.
It has been resolved, and the camera has been moved to the halfway line, so I can now see both goals.
All right. One email I said.
It has been. It's good to know that it's been kind of
people listening, Gary. People listening.
Exactly. Aye.
So. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Maybe that's Mr. Murty's excuse he couldn't see. Go to George with the Souness one, but that's brilliant news, Gary. Well done, mate. George, Souness just changed. I mean,
just to be questioning, Ross. I mean, see, you're talking about stuff. I've heard this story before about standing in queues for tickets and all that. Was it as much a clamour for tickets as it is now, or was it? Were you guaranteed a ticket, Ken?
No, there was thousands. No. There was thousands getting turned away every week.
Is that right?
And I think it was Jim Hanna that told the story. They had to get a clicker and start counting the queues because people were queuing up and waiting hours and hours, and then they were saying there's no tickets left.
And it was some time. It was some very exciting times for fans, and more frustration than ever. First 2 years, I think it was first 2 years before the season tickets come in. And once they introduced the season tickets, they just took off. That was when Ibrox was only about 40,000, wasn't it?
44,000, aye.
44,000. And then it transformed it with the big club deck. Oh my goodness gracious, what a change. What a change.
That was an interesting time, exciting times, George, you know, and we were on the roll. We won the League Cup, and then we won the league. But getting back to True's point, that's some question, Fox, isn't it? Was it ultimately for good?
I'll tell you what, I'm for one. I loved every minute, mate. We might have paid the consequences. It's like robbing a bank and getting away with the money, and then once it ran out, they caught up with you, mate. But the times we had then, mate, were absolutely fabulous. During David Murray's reign, for all the bad that came at the end of it, the excitement, the pleasure of watching Rangers through all the times, mate, I wouldn't give it up for nothing. It's a shame now that it's affected us so badly, which I'll admit to, but God, for people at my age and True's age, mate, who'd went through years of absolute pelters, mate, you know, it was the greatest thing that ever happened.
Oh, listen, don't read me wrong, Fox. I enjoyed it as much as anybody else at the time, you know. But I was very much aware of the change, and I think the thing I looked at as well that delighted me is the Rangers supporters will never, ever accept second best again after this. because you thrive on that. It's true, winning's a habit. And it became that habit for Rangers supporters. And that was the thing for me. That was one of the big things that really come out of it. And I don't think it gets spoken about enough as a Rangers support. Then got to a stage where second best was nowhere ever. For that length of time, the period we'd went through. I'd been at Ibrox. You could swing 5 cats,
I think that's what I'm hoping for now, mate. We had that pleasure. People of our age are coming through the bad times into the good times. At present, we're in the bad times and we're waiting on that big thing coming that's going to take us back to the good times.
Well, you look at, you're talking about Rangers there and all the other teams stuff. Even now, there's teams signing foreigners, you know what I mean, that are away doing second league and third league and all that, Every team in Scotland was affected at that period. Dundee went through it all, with some of the players. Mind the Italian mob, I don't know, Canadian, you're like, what the hell's going on, It was exciting times, don't get me wrong, but, the point I'm trying to make, a lot of your traditions went out the window completely then. It's made no difference to how people feel about us now. I think it's got worse, actually. And you look at where we've been the last few years, it's difficult to swallow. I don't think Scottish football ultimately gained. They did over a period of a decade there, but I think it's worn out now. As I say, it's up to you guys, I'm wondering, what you think about it.
Well, but it's definitely in a worse position now than it's ultimately ever been. The international ranking through, if you take that as a guide.
Aye,
where are we? Where are we?
Well, it was
1986, that Rangers team. I don't think we'd one player in that squad that went to the. Oh, Cooper. Cooper was in it, wasn't he? Cooper.
What was it? 7 Diddy's rule or something they called it, or something like that, you could only have so many foreigners, which ended the careers of a lot of Rangers players and all, But,
I'm talking about the national team.
Oh, aye, the national team, aye.
That's your barometer. How poor is that now?
Aye, but I thought that was a direct reflection of the foreigners we brought into the game, and we're still bringing into the game,
Mm-hmm. Aye, that's a fair comment about the foreigners. That's hope's another whole political debate through play.
Aye.
Can I say about the bad times I've went through this time through? I think it's helped in the crowds that we've got in at Ibrox and now the full stadiums all the time. See, when we went down the leagues, mate, prices were cheaper. Guys could afford to take their kids and be able to get tickets for places like Brechin and all that. And these young boys now are all your 16, 17 and 18s, maybe a lot of the Union Bears, etc. And that would have maybe have been took with their dads when they were 13, 14, mate. And that's what we've held on to our youth, mate, and the support, which might not have happened if that hadn't happened.
I thought you were talking about you and I there. I was going to have us watching the mirror.
No, but you know what I mean? We've managed to have a wee transfusion in the support for young
Well, but John, I think it's Denver, and then I'll come back to you too. How we do it? I think it's Denver. Evening, Denver.
It is Denver.
Hi, good evening, boys. How are we doing?
All right, mate. You're I think you're a bit younger. No, maybe you're no, but your thoughts on what we're talking about here, 1986, mate, when Souness came in and changed the whole of their club. What was your views, mate?
You know what? At that time, it was like Christmas every morning. I felt as if every other month you opened up the paper and another superstar signed. One with True Blue. Rangers died in 1989. The Rangers that I knew and loved. And I still love the Rangers, but they'll never be the same after that bastard, Johnson signed. No, that I feel strongly about it, Aaron.
Would that be the signing that happened in July that year?
That would be the very one. I don't know if I ever tell you, I never went back. I never went back all the time he was there. I followed Peter Sill all over the country. And I went back. The first game he left was Hibs. We played Hibs at Easter Road. And I think we beat them 3-0. It was a Wednesday night game. And that was the first time I went back. And I went back ever since after that, but When he was there, no way. I couldn't give him a penny. I'd ended up in the jail. I was a nutter in the days. I'd have been jailed up, man.
You think you've changed a bit?
Well,
you
know,
changed
just
a
an
bit?
American nutter new bridge. Just
He's
an
a
American
mellow.
nutter new, mate. That's all.
They have guns, the American nutters.
I've got a few of them as well, you know.
Oh my God! What are you doing on our radio then?
I think the point that True Blue makes, if you get into bullies, mate, they just want more and more and more, and where ultimately, where does it go to? I think that's the point.
You know, True Blue's 100% right, because, you know, we gave in with that, and then, you know, you give in with the Bully Boys, and it keeps going and going and going and going. They wouldn't be happy to that we were dead, and we'll never die, because your fans will keep going, you know.
True Blue.
I think Denver's right. I wouldn't have put it as strongly, you know. But I know you keep saying the Souness revolution. For me, it will always be the David Holmes revolution. Souness was a part of it, of course, and then Walter took over. But, you know, the point I was making out, I think it's damaged Scottish football, and ultimately in the long run, you're talking about the national team. And that's when the war with the SFA really came to the fore with us, I think. But again, we're traditions, you know, the Sunday service was put out at Ibrox, you know, the complete capitulation with Donald Finlay, signing Mo Johnson, and, you know, that was the way we went. And it's not got us anywhere. I really don't think it's got us anywhere. The amount of money we spent bringing foreigners in when we should have been developing our young players and all the rest of it. I watched the Charlie Miller interview the other day, a good interview. If anybody's want to grab it, it's on YouTube. And he was talking about Advocate coming in and the kind of players he was up against and all that, you know. It was a crazy period, but like Fox, I enjoyed every minute, I enjoyed every trophy we ripped up and everything else, you know. Brilliant stuff. But I think ultimately I don't know it done us that much good in the long term.
Aye, well, history's a funny thing, mate, innit? History's a funny thing. George, you're a bit younger. How do you see it now? Obviously, the repercussions, and if you accept that the money side of the game changed in '86, and it became more business, and players were paid higher wages. But if I remember right, Souness made money for the club. He's because you could buy and sell. Then he was always buying and selling and moving players on for profits.
We were the biggest team in Britain then.
Aye, well, without a doubt, mate.
I think with Souness as well. You know, I'm not decrying Souness's achievements here. I'm really no, but I think there's too much emphasis placed on him in the big picture. Souness had the perfect storm. If you remember, all the English clubs were barred out of Europe and on. We get Butcher up, and Chris Woods, Graham Roberts, all established English internationals who would normally not have looked at Scottish football. The runs we had in Europe, 92, 93 and all that, fantastic stuff. You know, there's no doubting it was a great period for the club. You know, but we're paying for it now, you know.
George, what do you think when we hear us talking about the years and where it led to? I mean, it was 26 years after it. So did it influence it, or there was a lot of mistakes made there, or is money the catalyst? Because he came in 88, November 88, and he was obviously still involved right up to 2011.
I think money is the big thing, man. I mean, that's another thing you're talking about there. I mean, Fox's point about Ken, it's maybe rejuvenate all the fans and that what happened a few years ago and things like that. I 100% agree with that. I've told you a million times. I was there at Brecon, Peter Heath, that full season, all these seasons. I was there, and I seen the fans growing and growing and growing. People seem to think that our fans, if you look at the cup final in 2011 and things like that, the games in 2011, they weren't always massive big sellout socks. Ken, they weren't. People seem to think now that there was yesterday it was announced that semi-final was Celtic within 10 minutes or something like that. It wasn't always like that. People are dreaming a wee bit, thinking that's the way it always was. I remember going to Hampden, and there were certain parts of Hampden still empty and things like that. People were getting a wee bit, even Champions League games in that Oxford was empty seats and things like that. You know what I mean? So I think what happened in 2012, horrible, don't get me wrong, absolutely horrible, but I think that's got the fans back together and it's kicked his own again and we became stronger and things like that. But what True's saying there, Ken, I'm a bit younger than you guys, obviously. What I'm saying is, you're saying True's probably saying it's David Holmes, somebody else is saying it's Souness, but that's the thing for me. I mean, for everything that's happened to the club, I'll never, ever forget what happened when David Murray ran our club. We won 9 in a row. I seen the 9 in a row. I was there. That's my sort of year. I mean, you guys are talking about before that. I never really got to see that and got to appreciate David Holmes coming in and doing what he done. Even so much Souness coming in and doing what he done. This is my 19th season as a season ticket. So it was David Murray was the guy for me, I suppose. And that's why I'd probably say I couldn't would ever change what he done. I couldn't have changed it. I honestly couldn't have changed what he done for the club, because I seen 9 in a row. I seen Rangers winning trebles, and I seen Alex McLean doing what he done, getting to the Champions League and things like that. So I could never ever take it away from David Murray, and that's who I would put it down to. Like,
there's an argument that a lot of the time it was Murray, it was the fans. It was the fans' money. You know, and the way he changed the club, and he siphoned after catering, etc., and moved a lot of stuff, you know, and we became complacent. We became complacent. When you go through,
there was also television money flooding the game then and all, but that stank as well. They had a vote down in English FA whether to allow Sky or BSB. Was it the contract? Now, Alan Sugar was on the board at the time making that decision, whose company Amstrad supplied all the Sky dishes. You know, so he'd a vested interest. In fairness to him, he declared that, but still allowed him for a vote. So he voted for Sky, and that was a carrying vote. So Sky come into it, flooded the game with money. They're still putting obscene amounts of money into the game as well. You know, so it was that massive influx of money. And at the time, because of the European ban with the English clubs, Rangers were without a doubt the biggest club in Britain. You know, I don't know if any of you agree with me, but I think we were.
I do, mate. I do agree with you. And right up to maybe 95, I would argue that for that period, 86, well, 87 to 95, were the biggest club in Britain, mate. Without a doubt. Liverpool would have gave us a run, obviously. They were the force of the famous club in Liverpool, and then obviously Man United came to the fore and changed English football. But I agree with you. George, just one other thing. That game we talked about, the 4 each game, that was played at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, and it wasn't on the television. Just so you know.
That's another thing as well, Ken. That's another point. I mean, I would love football to go back to a bit like you're saying there. And obviously we've had this talk on this programme before, Ox, about football. I used to get excited about it, be able to watch a match of the day on a Saturday night, and then you'd get a live game on a Sunday. You've got a live game on a Sunday night, you've got Monday night football, Champions League Tuesday, Wednesday, Europa League Thursday, and then you've got back to football on a Friday. People are maybe just getting scunnered off with the football on the telly. Maybe that's what's actually happening with the young guys. Folk are saying it's PlayStations. That maybe it's actually we're getting too much telly in the football. You used to be excited about getting to watch match of the day, and then straight after it, Sports Scene or whatever it was, no, Scott Sport or whatever it was, straight after it, you used to get excited watching that. It's maybe just too much football on the telly now. Maybe we should get back to it. And again, that's what pays for football now. I know that, I understand.
You've got to have it now, George, but the stadiums are made massive stadiums now. We had 2 of the biggest stadiums in the world and are free in Glasgow alone. My first Rangers Celtic game as a wee boy, I remember, was over 80,000 there, mate. Over 80,000, you know. And there was bigger crowds than that.
And that's why we're playing at 12 o'clock on a Sunday and things like that. True, we've got to understand that. We've got to know that.
Aye, but it's allowing people to see the games at least. But I've said it before. I think your new fan now is your armchair fan who's taking the TV packages. That's where the money's coming from now. And of course, clubs like us are great. You know, we're support second to none. You know, we'll follow them everywhere. You know, that's the thing, mate. But the massive influx of money was unbelievable. You know, there was Rangers posters, there was billboards all over Glasgow and all sorts, you know. It was fantastic, particularly when we signed the England captain, the England goalie, Graham Roberts and various other English players, you know, Trevor Francis and people like that. You know, Sky were clamouring to show their games.
Some time for us, some time. Denver, you still with us, mate?
Aye, still here, guys. Aye.
Aye, it was a special time. Funny enough, but the Sooners couldn't win the Scottish Cup, huh?
Aye, I know, that was a weird one, wasn't it? Always evaded them, you know. Aye, it was good times, you know. It was like, you know, in the days they didn't have a transfer window either, you know, so you could just sign players whenever you wanted, you know. It was good stuff, you know.
I remember that Mel Sterling came in and scored a few goals then. He was away again. Fullback, God. I think he made about, it doesn't sound a lot now, but I think he made about £300,000 on him in weeks, Sooners.
And then Dale Gordon as well. He did a turn for it as well, didn't he?
I think Sooners signed him, but he was still there with the Walter team because he played at Ellen Road, Dale Gordon.
That's right.
Aye, that's right, aye. Can you remind me when the Leeds game? What year was that?
1992, mate.
92. I didn't realise it was as late as that. I didn't think it was as
92,
late.
mate. What you got to say, George?
They were good days, mate.
But he's all a bit older than me. He's all probably agree that as soon as era, for me, obviously it was Advocate, but for you, but you probably say as soon as era was that the most exciting, signing the English internationals, captains and all these guys. I think that was the most exciting for you. Or was it when you won the Europe Cup Winners' Cup, or what was it?
Oh, George, I was on that way when we won the Cup Winners' Cup, mate. There was three in that. There was 3 periods in that. There was as soon as at the start when we started, we won the league the first time in 9 years. Then we lost it. I believe that we could have went close to winning the European Cup if Butcher hadn't broke his leg that year, because I think that's what Sooners was concentrating on. And then we come back, we went on the first, and we won 9 league titles in a row. The first 3 or 4 of them, they were all exciting, but in the middle ones, and then it became exciting again when Gaza, Loudrop, and then we were gone for 9 in a row. And then we had the lull when we blew the 10th one, and then Advocate came in, and that was the 3 spells for me. It was like a roller coaster, mate, and there were some highs, special times. That's my opinion. Go around the panel, start with Bridgeman, and then go to True Blue.
I think George is saying that because some of the guys don't remember it or couldn't remember it because they weren't born. But that was, for me, I don't count it necessarily as the most exciting times. That under Souness was fervour. I mean, you had people coming to Ibrox, just for saying sake, when Gascoigne came, you had people coming and dyeing their hair, getting their hair cut the same as it. I mean, thousands of them. It wasn't just a couple of boys. Thousands of them coming to see Paul Gascoigne when he was arriving. And this was just one star after another. Very exciting time. Great exciting times for Rangers. And God, do we wish it was back again. Any excitement like that would be just wonderful for the club.
I've told you this story before. The bar that I drink in, or the pub I drink in the West End, well, we all drank it at the time, mate. A lot of people got their hair done like that, and this one boy came in, and the dynamo worked, his hair went green, mate. It was absolutely brilliant when we got to Casa. True Blue, then Fox.
I'll tell you a wee story about a pub I know. A guy was telling me it was one of them. It was a kind of mixed pub, and they were getting in. Rangers had won the league again, so the Bears are battering out simply the best on the jukebox, on and on and on and on. And then the barman eventually shouts out, says, the next one that plays simply the best is getting barred. So apparently this big bear went up the jukebox, put his money in, they're all sitting with bated breath. What, come on? You saw me crying in the chapel. They were on stitches, but aye, great days, you know. I mean, I'm sounding like a bit of doomsayer here, But they were brilliant days. They really were brilliant days. But we're going a bit soonest. Walter Smith was completely brilliant for us, and all some of the players he signed as well. Fantastic football to watch sometimes. Aye, great stuff. But, talking about the money thing again as well, I remember a couple of guys, I think it was Rangers Media, who were on about all the money we're spending. It was, it was doom and gloom and all that. And I remember kind of poo-pooing them, but it kind of stuck in the back of my head, And, well, we've seen the result anyway. But fantastic days. That 92, 93 run the European Cup was absolutely tremendous. We'd get through with Leeds, and we played, who was it, Bruges, Moscow, Dynamo, was it? Or CSKA Moscow, and Marseille, of course. Then it came out a bit tappy, and that left a bad taste in the mouth as well. But what an exciting scene, and what a tournament that was. The whole country was bouncing.
First Champions League, mate. That was the first Champions League.
Aye. Incidentally, the architect of that was Campbell Ogilvie. That was the standing our club had at the time. Really a major force in Europe, Glasgow Rangers. And we always will be. I think, even by reputation, But fantastic times, winning the titles and all the rest of it. And Fast Tracks, he was only away, and I carried him into his first game, actually. And he grew up during the nine in a row years, And I remember speaking to him one time and talking about, they'll be right back next year, And he didn't know Celtic could win the league. he thought it was just Rangers that could win the league, Unbelievable. And now my wee granddaughter's growing up in a completely different environment. She's gone nuts, when we can't get a victory. But brilliant days, trophy-laden days, we used to laugh at them and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, we done our 9 in a row with them in the league, spending big,
Fox.
True, you're talking about your boy and that. To move the conversation on a wee bit just here for a minute, is it time us all fogies stood back and give the young what they want at Ibrox now, mate? I.e. the singing section, things like that. We had our turn as youths, mate, and I think it's about time now that the youth got a say in what happens in Ibrox. They're the future of the club now, and I know they want to move into a singing section at Ibrox, standing section. How do we go about accommodating them for that, mate? I mean, my idea personally would be if I'm lucky enough to sit in the stand, mate, so it probably wouldn't affect me, but to people like, say the Copeland front, mate, how could you tempt the boys that sit there now to move out and let the young boys in? Would a free season ticket for one season convince them to move out, mate, so that they get something out of it? Would guys accommodate that to let the young boys in and get some real atmosphere back into Ibrox?
Aye, the All-Sater Stadium, it's not just Ibrox, mate, it's had an effect the world over. But listen, you were as mental as I was when you were a boy. You could go into Ibrox and take your carry out in with you, and sit and, well, the stories. I think the young boys now, they're terrified to sing, they're getting filmed, it's just ridiculous now what's going on. I think they're chasing people away from the game. I really do,
Do you think there's enough of the older bears backing these young boys, mate? I think the thing that puts them off is the total ultra scene, but that's the biggest thing in football now. I mean, I was there with your Jonathan, mate, and all he wanted today was go in with the Union Bears. Let's be honest. If you're going to keep crowds up at Ibrox, we need to give these young boys what they want. That's my opinion,
But again, it goes back to the season ticket thing. I mean, we used to go up as a crowd. We all used to go up as a crowd, and you'd get in, no bother. You paid at the gate in the days, And
that's the biggest thing, True. You can't sit with your mates and all that. That's a big factor.
Same and all, some people are slightly better off now. They've got motors and all the rest of it. Supporters' bus is no attractive to them any longer, particularly if you're going up with kids. It can be quite wild now, you know, and it's not the done thing now to let your kids in amongst that atmosphere, you know. There's so much changing in the game, but I think we're all guys like you and I have got a role to play, Foxes. You know, letting the younger guys remind them of the history of the club and how things used to be and where we were, and talk about old games and put the traditions and get that feeling and that. You know, you and I are all fogies and we still love the club. You know, I think that's a big role we've got to play. Same with Bridgeman, you know.
He's a real old fogey.
Aye, but
That's shocking.
I think you're dead right, mate. You know, the time for the young boys to take the lead, you know. But I don't want them taking the lead, forgetting the traditions of the club either, you know.
Time for us to stand aside through. On you go, Gary.
Can I just come in and have a wee quick say? Right, obviously I'm, no offence to you, but I'm probably younger than 99% of you, but...
Yeah, maybe no younger than me, mate. Maybe no younger than me.
Speak for yourself, Gary.
Bridgeman's got socks older than you.
The biggest change that I would say is, remember we used to talk about players playing for the jersey. I don't see us talking about that so much anymore because of the money that's in the game now. Do you know what I mean? See when you go back to the days of McCoy and even Gaza when he played with, you know, Goff, you know, all these players, Butcher, they all played for the jersey.
Oh, they were on big money. They were on big money for their time, mate.
Aye, but you could tell that they played for the jersey.
Aye, I know, but that was the catalyst that Souness done. That team that we mentioned in 1986, when they all finished football, most of them, if no all of them, would have to find another job. But when Souness came in, Scottish football was the highest payers in Britain, particularly our club were the highest payers in Britain, and they became really wealthy men. The game, that was the point that Fox was trying to make. That few weeks in Scottish football changed the whole game forever. For good or bad, whatever you think it, and that's the point Drew's making, is that they 2 months of Scottish football, the game changed forever. We went for a team, everybody in it was a Rangers supporter for a certain background, and our team changed. We brought in Englishmen, we brought in different players, and then ultimately there was other players came in. Denver, one of Denver's favourites for Mary Hill. You know, so that was the point. But the money changed at that particular time within weeks. Within weeks. You know.
All you need to do is look at Brian Laudrup. He didn't play for the jersey in that last season. He just kept his shout to himself for it. Was it Chelsea he went to?
You're bang on there, Denver, by the way. You're bang on there.
60,000 a week, mate. He went on Chelsea.
Aye, so that's sorry, Gary, but that puts paid to your theory, wee man.
And then quite quickly admitted he made a mistake and retired and wished he'd never left Rangers.
Exactly.
You know, but the game changed, Gary. And you're right. The people stopped playing for the jersey. Just the way the game changed. Not just our club, the whole game changed. Mate.
I think it was a changing of the times. I think the big money came in through the television.
Exactly.
And, you know, I was all there. These guys they were on the road, on the big stairway to heaven, salary-wise, and they're still going up. The stairway's going up and up and up. Still on it. So maybe another 10 years to go before it all goes bust.
Can I ask Fox and Bridge a question?
Well, you can, but you can start it off when you take the morning night show.
All right,
because it's time for a shout-out. See what I done there, Fox? Anyway...
I was just thinking about that, mate. I think we'll have a wee vote in the lobby here, mate, see how it goes. There isn't much Rangers stuff to talk about. Would they prefer is just to babble on about Rangers for the morrow night, or would they like to do a pre-match and after-match Scotland game? Do we have a vote in the lobby on that?
Yes for Scotland, no for Rangers. Is that the right way about? Yeah, that'll do. Yes for Scotland, no for Rangers. You'll know where I'm coming from there, True Blue.
I think because we've got an ex-Rangers manager there, mate, we've got a couple of players in the squad. I particularly myself want to watch Portugal, see if Big Alves has been cheating us all season. That's what I want to watch it for.
I think you're getting a bit of stick in the lobby, Fox.
Well, that'll be fine tomorrow night if we've got hundreds of callers.
Hundreds of callers. All right, you've answered your question. True Blue, shout out.
Yeah, big shout out to you guys. Interesting conversation tonight. Thanks very much.
Always great to hear from you, mate, and I'm really pleased your do went well, mate.
Oh, aye, very good. Very good.
Funny,
I want to thank, just incidentally, I want to thank Rangers Radio for their wee sponsorship bit with the jersey and that as well. Thanks for that, Fox.
Just a quick one. When I said last week, I hope True Blue it goes well for True Blue on Saturday. Get a few PMs. People thought you were going in for an operation. Anyway, Denver, give us a shout out.
Thanks for everything, guys. Just a way to have a lie down. Calm my blood pressure thinking about that wee red-cheated rat-face arsehole.
I don't know who you're talking about. Gary?
I just big shout out to you guys. I've missed not being here. Hopefully I can start coming back more regularly again. But no, thanks for having me back this evening.
Just to let you know, at the display at the end of the season, you won't be getting perfect attendance in your book, okay? All right, George Logan?
Can I just say to Gary there that I've already ordered him some 3D for his wheels, mate. Get him back in action. Quicker the better.
George Logan?
I know, a good show. Well done to you guys. I could play the Rangers on. I love talking about the Rangers. Even sometimes I love listening to you guys about all these stories and things like that. It's not always been great. It's not always been easy, but it's always been great, Ox.
You're here, mate. Never forgive, never forget, but we are the people, George. Fox?
Right.
Good night. Thanks for listening. I'll be waiting for all the phone calls tomorrow night with bated breath from that lobby.
It's crazy, isn't it? Oh, listen, can I just say, a marvellous show tonight. Really good discussions. Sorry I get so heated. Apologies to everyone, and if I upset anyone, I do apologise. I don't think I said anything bad, but as I do get upset about some things. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one of us, think about it. Keep it going for the Rangers. Just keep it going because we need it.
Can I thank Denver and Gary for joining us, Bridgeman, Fox, George, True Blue and Big Ulster for taking the time to come on the panel, for everybody that took part in the lobby and everybody that's listened. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow between 9 and 11 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Fox.
From a guy so young to Glasgow City they come, seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know their ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. Four lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags, sing with your heart and voice. Celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. Four lads had years we're born. 54 titles, we're still going strong.